I have a financial planner, a separate financial advisor, an estate attorney, a banker, and an accountant. What I don't have is an attention advisor. Neither do you. We track every dollar. We ignore every thought. We guard our credit scores, and we give away our focus for free. Something's deeply wrong with this picture. Money is renewable. Time isn't. Attention is the bridge between them. I run a company. I make decisions daily. I sign off on six-figure expenses. But my most valuable resource isn't capital. It's clarity. Clear thinking creates everything else. And lately, it has become more and more difficult to think clearly in this noisy world around us. I talk more about this topic in today's episode. Welcome to The Human Thread, a space for those seeking something real in a world dominated by noise and algorithms. I'm Greg, and here we unravel the fabric of authentic connection through creativity, meaningful conversations, and reflections on the messy, beautiful human experience. Let's dive into the threads that bind us beyond likes and follows to meaning, art, and genuine dialogue. Financial advisors obsess over diversification, asset allocation, risk tolerance. But what about your attention assets? Let's break it down. The deep work equities, the hours of uninterrupted focus, the social media junk bonds, high stimulation, low return time, the news consumption commodity, mostly volatile, rarely valuable, the relationship blue chips, high quality time with people who matter, and creative capital, space for ideas to develop without pressure. Most of us are heavily overinvested in the equivalent of penny stocks. Quick dopamine hits, endless scrolling, constant reactivity. We're attention day traders. We're chasing the latest headline, the newest outrage, the freshest crisis. And in the end, we confuse the appeal of the ups and downs with the goal of sustained growth. I'm learning something at middle age, and depending on who you ask, maybe 50 is not middle age anymore, but let's call it middle age. That's certainly how it feels. Nobody else will protect your attention. Not your boss, not your family, certainly not the devices in your pocket. The rebalancing has to be deliberate. It has to be daily. It has to be sometimes hourly. I started small in the mornings, no email or headline scrolling until after I get my workout. Midday, I still block a 1 hour block on my calendar for a device-free nap or meditation. Even if I don't use that time, having it on the calendar is a great daily reminder. In the afternoon, sometimes I wear noise-canceling headphones, but I don't turn on any music. It's just a way for me to purposely block out any of the outside distractions. And then in the evening, we have a rule: no phones at the dinner table. These are small barriers, but they can yield big returns. My financial advisor asks all the time about my risk tolerance, my time horizon, my liquidity needs. But no one really asks about my distraction tolerance, my focus horizon, my creativity needs. So I asked myself. I realized I'd accepted absurd levels of risk, daily raids on my attention that would never be tolerated in my financial life. Think of it this way. Would you let random strangers withdraw small amounts from your bank account all day? That's what notification settings do to your mind. Notifications happen on their timeline, not yours. And if you are not careful, the aggregate of their needs will bankrupt you. Financial planners recommend 6 months of emergency savings, although I will tell you these days, I'm not sure 6 months is enough. Emergency savings is cash you can access when things go sideways. But where's your attention emergency fund? The reserved capacity to think clearly during actual crisis. Most of us operate at maximum cognitive load. No margin, no reserves. Then we wonder why we make terrible decisions under pressure. I've started to build my attention emergency fund. Protected blocks of nothing, just space to think, to process, to exist without input. It feels uncomfortable at first. It was really uncomfortable for me. It's like money sitting idle, but really that's the point. Value often hides in the spaces between actions, not the actions themselves. My retirement accounts won't pay off for years, but guess what? I invest anyway. And long-term attention investments work the same way. Reading books, walking, and doing your daily walks without listening to anything. Painting, staring out the window, writing by hand, sitting in silence. These aren't productive in any immediate sense. Neither is putting money in a 401k. But compounding interests with thought works the same way it works with money. Small daily investments, massive long-term returns. We seek professional help for legal matters, for health concerns, for financial planning. Who's on your attention advisory board? Have you ever thought of it that way? Mine includes my wife, who calls me out when I'm distracted, or my mentor, who protects their own attention fiercely, my friend, who listens intently and thanks me for sharing so deeply, and my colleague, who respects communication boundaries. Surround yourself with people who value what you should value, who protect what you should protect. Here's the only asset that truly matters. Money can be replaced, careers rebuilt, even health often recovers. But time spent with a scattered, reactive mind is gone forever. Your attention is the asset underlying all other assets, the resource that gives meaning to every resource. Start treating it that way. Build your attention portfolio with the same care as your financial one. The returns might not show up on any statement, but they'll determine the quality of everything else in your life. The balance of this account is where you'll reflect on when all the others stop mattering. And that day comes faster than any of us expect. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If today's episode sparked curiosity or resonated with you, let's keep the conversation going on the Human Thread Substack. And until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the human threads that connect us.